If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well.
Hey guys, how's it going? Cheers back again and welcome to episode number 61 of the Liverpool career mode here on FIFA 15. We start again with a game against Everton. Of course, we played them in the first leg of the Europa League semi-finals in yesterday's episode. Today's first game against Everton is actually in the Barclays Premier League. We actually have to play them in the league in between the two legs of the European competition. So playing a full rotated side, because of course this game is coming at the weekend after the Thursday game against Everton in the Europa League. So I needed to rotate, otherwise everybody would have been absolutely shattered. So hopefully this rotation side can do the business. Of course, we saw in the squad report yesterday that Eduardo Vargas has something like 35 goals in 28/29 games, which is just unbelievable. So I'm pretty confident that the team can do the business, even if it is just because Eduardo Vargas is in the side and everybody else is quite tired. I'd still be confident that he could drag the team through the way it's been playing so far this year. But as you can see, Everton's starting off on the front foot. Of course, yesterday we were able to get a 1-0 win. Not going to get a 1-0 win here, though, because we 1-0 down after 5 minutes. They started a lot stronger here than they did in the European competition, because Steven Pienaar rifles that into the top corner, celebrates in front of the travelling fans, although they haven't really had to travel far. But 1-0 down after 5 minutes, but Morgan Schneidlin does well to sidestep two defenders there, gets Raheem Sterling into the box, lovely Ronaldo top, and well, Seamus Coleman couldn't really have been further away from the ball with that slide tackle. You'll see from the replay, Raheem Sterling, lovely Maradona turn to get past the man, and then had an extra touch in there just to knock it away. Seamus slides in, and he's probably a good foot and a half away from the ball. Nowhere near it. It slides between man and ball, and it's a clear penalty. It's one of the most, clear-cut opportunities that the referee will ever have to give a spot kick. But it's Ilkay Gundogan was actually going to step up to take the penalty, smashes it, and, well, pretty good penalty as far as I'm concerned. 1-1 after 12 minutes, and this was setting up to be rather an entertaining derby, to be completely honest. But after that, it kind of died down a little, so I was quite disappointed. Although, to be fair, the fact that it wasn't played at 100% tempo probably is in favour of both sides when it comes to remaining or keeping some players fit for of course the game to come second in the episode in the Europa League second leg. But Lukaku makes it 2-1 Everton in the pouring rain, as you can see, absolutely tipping it down right now. But just on the hour mark, they actually go back in front, so we were up against it again. Lukaku tries to dink that into the box, but we are eventually, after Inigo Martinez smashes it against Kevin Morales, going to get it away. Hesse plays it inside to Schneidlin, working it about nicely here. Coutinho's injured, unfortunately, but able to play it through to Eduardo Vargas, and always 150 bajillion% confident that Eduardo Vargas is going to put that away into the back of the net. So that's 2-2 with 10 minutes to go. Question was, in stoppage time here, was anyone going to be able to get a winner? Browning's the man tracking back. Not the best of passes to Seamus Coleman. They kind of tempting fate a little bit here, passing it about like that at the back, especially when their defence just isn't in any sort of shape whatsoever. Vargas is clean through, and I tried to square it across here rather than going for the shot myself. Tried to be not greedy with Vargas and make sure that the ball went into the back of the net, but fantastic defending as the angle tightened for the shot. Had no real option other than to square it across, and unfortunately we weren't able to win the game, and we finished 2-2. But that's a point towards our league title campaign. And now, of course, as we said, the second game is the exact same fixture, but this time slightly more important. After the 1-0 win away from home at Goodison Park, we come into this one obviously as favourites, and again playing a rotated side. As you can see, Sevilla 1-0 up from their first leg against Athletic Club de Bilbao in the other semi-final. So pretty much similar circumstances. If Sevilla win and we win, it will be us versus them, and if Bilbao win and Everton win, then it, depending on away goals, it might be those two that play in the final. So of course, like I say, rotation side is back on the bench, and we're starting with a stronger side this time. Isco sat behind Daniel Sturridge. They're starting Stephen Naismith up top instead of Romelu Lukaku this time around. Morales, Ross Barkley and Steven Pienaar as the front three behind them, with Barry and Gibson holding. Wasn't too sure how this game was going to go. Obviously, the previous one was played in the pouring rain, and this one is in better conditions with a better side, on our side of things at least. So I was confident, or more confident at least, than I was in the previous game of getting a decent result. Question was, could we keep them out? Obviously, if they scored 2 goals like they did in the league game, then they'd be going through on away goals if we weren't able to get anything. And even if we lost the game 2-1 and we did score, we'd still go out on away goals. So a goal for us really wouldn't change the situation here. Everton need to score 2 regardless if they want to win in 90 minutes. But considering that, Heung-min Son races through and we do score that goal, that doesn't really change anything. But it was a really nice run from Heung-min Son. Obviously left-footed, but he does have a 5-star weak foot and put plenty of power behind that on his right. I wasn't sure initially whether it had taken the deflection because Tim Howard didn't really seem to do too much towards saving it. But actually, no, it was just really well struck. A lot of power behind it and Howard wasn't able to react. So we're 1-0 up with less than half an hour played already. Henderson is actually going to get the advantage there after Darren Gibson slides in. Not too much contact made, but Douglas Costa goes for the cheeky finesse shot. Scored the pen in the first leg. This time, though, not quite able to find the back of the net as Tim Howard plucks the ball out of thin air and we're able to stay at 1-0. And we almost made it 2-0 before half-time, but the last touch of the half was Heung-min Son's header that flew over the top of the bar. So into the second period we go, still continuing to be on top, at least possession and chance creation-wise. So you can see Heung-min Son plays through Daniel Sturridge here. You would ordinarily have presumed that Sturridge would have just buried that into the bottom corner. I would have had as much confidence in him this year as I have done with Eduardo Vargas, but he puts it wide, and that opens up the opportunity for Everton to come onto us on the attacking sense. Standing up his Stephen Pienaar, and that actually was an extremely good save by Stéphane Ruffier. He did get a touch to that, big fingertips to make sure that it didn't go on target. You can see how disappointed Stephen Naismith is in the fact that that didn't go in. But there's still 10 minutes to go, just over 10 minutes to go, and Sturridge is trying to race away here. A second goal for us really would kill the tie off at this particular stage, but obviously a goal for Everton would really bring it into question whether which team was going to go on and win. But Isco dances inside, had the opportunity to square it across again to Sturridge, but decided with Isco's fantastic dribbling, why not just turn inside and try a finesse shot yourself? We did, it worked. 2-0 on the night, 3-0 on aggregate, and Liverpool are through to the Europa League final. So that, as well as the FA Cup final, will come as a live commentary towards the end of the week and towards the end of the season. And as you can see, Sevilla also won 2-0 in their second leg as well. So exactly the same results in the other semi-final mean that Sevilla versus Liverpool will be the Europa League final. Not sure where the final is going to be held, so I'm not too sure how far each team is going to have to travel and whether Sevilla will have more of a home advantage-ish than we do, because maybe the final will be played in Spain or England. Well, I'm not entirely too sure. But we come into the Barclays Premier League now, obviously having to kind of recompose ourselves after the joys of getting to a European final, to come back to the Barclays Premier League to maintain our title fight. Of course, we are top of the league right now, although we do have a couple of games in hand or a game in hand rather, on a couple of sides around us. So if we could pick up 3 points here, that would really help our push for the title. Again, playing the rotation side, considering this game came the weekend after the European second leg. We actually have 7 games in the space of 3 weeks now to end the season. It's actually ridiculous. Game every Saturday and every midweek, if not 2 in the week. 3 games in 1 week was actually how this fixture list or this episode came about. We had Everton on the Sunday, then Everton on the Thursday, and then Leicester on the Saturday. So it was really, really tight fixture list wise, but we actually went 1-0 down in the opening stages, as you saw there. So we're on the back foot. I wasn't really too sure whether we'd get that European hangover. Obviously, it happens to a few sides in real life where they play in Europe midweek and then lose at the weekend, but we're able to get ourselves back on level terms. Thank you, Mr. Gerrard, as he heads us back at 1-1 in the 34th minute, and that kind of brought the game to life. In the second half, we ended the first half at 1-1, but the second half was just kind of going to explode. We're in kind of the 53rd, 54th minute here. Hesse turns his side brilliantly. Angle kind of just disappears there as the defender and his teammate Vargas get in the way, but he does slot the ball underneath the goalkeeper and through the defender to make it 2-1 in the 55th minute. And like I say, this game is going to come to life in the second half. As you can see, Leicester City kicking off immediately from going 2-1 down, not necessarily going to look after the ball as well as they should. Emre Can steals it off more there, racing away. Vargas has obviously got the pace, so just need to make sure the pass was right. It was. The first touch was brilliant to take it into his stride and away from the defender. And a really nice finish and a rather nice celebration as well to make it Liverpool 3, Leicester 1 in just 2 goals in 2 minutes, really, in the second half to really give us the commanding position in the tie. Lovely through ball for Vargas to run onto here. Obviously, with the defender so tight, I had to take the shot quite early. He did so, and in the 89th minute, we find ourselves getting a 4-1 lead. So he kind of puffs his chest out there. It looks like he's got breasts, doesn't it? The way they really, really puff their chest out there. It's like their spine snaps in half, and they're able to shove the front of their chest out more so than the rest of their body, which is really strange. Some of the physics engine stuff this year doesn't make much sense. But Raheem Sterling was so close to getting into the box there to winning us a penalty in stoppage time. Michael Brighton does pick up the yellow card. Couldn't decide whether to shoot or stand this up, so I eventually decided to go for a shot thanks to Steven Gerrard, and well, good decision, Ches. Goalkeeper not really too sure what he's doing. But we had 2 goals in 2 minutes at the start of the second half and 2 goals in 2 minutes at the end of the second half. Give us a rather convincing 5-1 win at the end of the game. Really, really strange that they went 1-0 up in that game and then we just absolutely dominated it. So the Keepmoat was a good... Not the Keepmoat. The King Power Stadium was a good place for us to go and visit at this particular stage in the season, because not only did the points help us, but the goal difference is now really vastly superior in our favour. And as you can see, we sit top of the table with a game in hand on both sides behind us, so we can go 3 points clear of Manchester United and 5 points clear of City should we win that game in hand. Though obviously if Spurs win their game in hand, they'll be 5 points behind us as well, and Arsenal seem well off the pace down there in fifth. And in fact, Arsenal and Chelsea look like they're going to have a battle for that Europa League spot. But that will bring today's episode to a close, guys. Thank you very much for watching. The run-in for the Barclays Premier League title is going to happen this week, and then of course we'll have the 2 finals to end the series. But that is going to bring today's episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already to make sure you don't miss out on anything else in this particular series or any other series on the channel. There'll be My Player tonight and Career Mode Road to Glory tomorrow. Yesterday afternoon, there was a little video go up with regards to votes for Career Mode. The first vote was to replace, for the series to replace this one, and the second one was for the series to replace the Man United one on stream starting this weekend. So check the video on the channel page if you missed it to both of those, to get the links to both of those votes and obviously have a listen to what I have to say. I'm going to try and keep that video quite short if I can to make sure that people actually listen to me rather than immediately clicking on the links and not really taking into account what I have to say. But regardless, I actually haven't recorded that video now. I'm actually going to go and record it after I've recorded this one. But that is going to bring today's video to a close. Thank you very much for watching. My Player later on tonight. Football Manager stream in the evening as well. And I'll see you next time.